These are visuals we are getting you from New York, where the Prime Minister is leading the Yoga Day celebrations at the United Nations headquarters, as we said, to commemorate the 9th edition of the International Yoga Day. The day has come to define India's global soft power. The theme for this year's Yoga Day is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means one earth, one family and one future. As we said, the event is seeing the participation of top UN officials, envoys from across the world, and prominent individuals and celebrities as well. Those are visuals coming in from the UN headquarters. The UN General Assembly Chief, the UN Deputy Secretary General, will also be attending this session. And every year, Yoga Day is celebrated on June 21st, remember, worldwide, not just in India, but worldwide. The concept of Yoga Day was introduced by Prime Minister Modi himself during his 2014 address to the United Nations General Assembly. Since then, yoga has gained a lot of popularity. This is the 9th year running since the UN recognized June 21st as the International Yoga Day. And Prime Minister Modi is, remember, on a 3-day visit to the United States. His first state visit, but not his first visit. He's been to America multiple times. He has bipartisan support that India enjoys in America for trade, for defense ties and for soft power as well. Those are visuals there of Prime Minister Modi. They're seated with top officials of the UN, presumably at the UN headquarters. As we said, this is a 3-day visit, which will also include a state dinner, an address to the US Congress, and diaspora events and multiple meetings with business leaders. So it's a mix of everything really there in the United States. Siddhant Sibal and Susan Tehrani are joining us live from New York. And Susan, first to you. Well, live visuals coming there from New York. Prime Minister Modi has arrived. Do we expect him to also speak at this event? Susan.
Yeah. Yes, well, we don't have the schedule in front of us right now, but it's very likely that Prime Minister Modi will also say a few words before starting this practice, this celebration. Right now, we see numerous individuals who've come to the podium and talked about the importance of yoga, but also the importance of how Prime Minister Modi in 2014 started and launched International Yoga Day. He really lobbied here at the United Nations and made this day what it is today, 9 years on. And we really hear that allude from the speakers one after the other as well. Of course, we heard the Indian ambassador to the United Nations speak and numerous other individuals, the organizers as well. And it's very likely that Prime Minister Modi will also say a few words before starting this practice.
Right. And Susan, of course, several senior, members of the UN headquarters are also there at this, at this event. And this really showcases India's soft power, the fact that Prime Minister Modi introduced yoga to the world and the UN recognized it, and it's the 9th year running now.
Absolutely. India's soft power in full display. Yoga at this point really is a diplomatic tool for India. There's no other way to describe it. And we see that at the forefront really not only today with the celebrations of today, but how successful it has been in becoming mainstream, not only here at the UN in the United States, New York specifically, but also around the world as well. I mean, you really have individuals here in the United States that are required to practice yoga even when they're incarcerated behind bars, because they've realized the importance and the effect that it has on a person's mental and a physical state. And then you have people that are young as elementary school students who really go to yoga class right now here in the United States. It's not required. We wish that it was like it is in India. But, moving forward, we really see how yoga has been embraced with open arms. And one of the reasons for that is because everyone can practice it. It's really not for the rich, the poor, the savvy, the famous, the fit. Everyone can really get on their mat, and it's a very non-judgmental practice. And I think that's very important in the world that we're living in right now. And this was really, in hindsight, I think Prime Minister Modi's vision that our world will be evolving and something that will stay with us and true to us will be something like the practice of yoga. And we see how successful it is right now.
Right, students.
We have Eric Adams,
right.
New York's mayor, right now speaking.
Let's listen
so
in.
He's also here with us.
We can just dip into that and then come back to Siddhant.
Children to have breathing exercises in the morning as they start their school day to challenge the mental health issues that's impacting us. But there's a larger challenge for all of us. What we do on the mat and practicing yoga must become what we do on the streets and in our countries. We cannot become universally connected through the yellow mats we lay on, but disconnected as we move through our communities. Use the spirit and emotions of yoga to challenge and fight against war, to fight against gender oppression, to fight against violence, to fight against the lack of clean water, to fight against the food insecurity, to fight against the destruction of our planet. Our connectivity is not only how we're connected to our families and our parents. We have two mothers. One gave birth to us and one sustains us. Yoga keeps us connected to both mothers and connected to each other. This International Yoga Day is an international call for us to stand up for humankind across the globe and all living beings. I'm proud to be here, and I'm proud to symbolically represent this city as stating the International Yoga Day is an international call that we will be a leader here in New York City as you are a leader in your own environments. Thank you for allowing me to rejoice with you today.
Right. And Siddhant Sibal is also with us. And those are visuals, of course, of the Prime Minister there being greeted by the UN officials as well as the Mayor of New York. Now, Siddhant, as we've been saying that, 180 countries observe International Yoga Day. This is a great success for India, brought by the Prime Minister himself, who has advocated that yoga is a universal concept, goes beyond Hinduism, just the Hindu religion, beyond Hinduism, it's all encompassing.
Well, a lot of enthusiasm, I can say, Bhairavi, as the Yoga Day celebrations have started here at the UN headquarters. In the past as well, UN has witnessed Yoga Day celebrations, but this time it's different, given it's being led by the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We have seen dignitaries now started to speak. On the dais, he's joined by the Deputy United Nations Secretary General Amina Mohammed, and there are, of course, a studded list of
offers a haven of calm. It can reduce anxiety and promote mental well-being. It helps us to develop discipline and patience. It connects us to our planet, which so badly needs our protection. And it reveals our common humanity, helping us to understand that despite our differences, we are one. On this International Day of Yoga, let us embrace the spirit of unity and resolve to build a better, more harmonious world for people, planet, and ourselves.
Right, that was the message of Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, on this day. And Siddhant, sorry to interrupt you, go ahead.
Well, yes, of course, as I was talking about the presence of dignitaries, but I believe that you might have to dip in the back, because there are more dignitaries who are now speaking and addressing the people who have come here to do yoga. This is a kind of chilly morning here in New York, but a lot of enthusiasm, especially by the members of the Indian American diaspora who are present in huge numbers. We saw the Indian Prime Minister starting his Yoga Day celebrations by paying homage to Mahatma Gandhi. The bust was inaugurated last year by the Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar.